All right, y'all, new box just dropped. You know what that means. We're going to review it real quick, and then I'm going to give you a ton of sample deck lists for you to use in building your decks. So let's jump right in. What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with another fun box review, and today we have the new box. It is unnamed at the moment. It is the Gimmick Puppet box, but there are a lot of very solid cards and some cool archetype support in here. We have Gimmick Puppets, a lot of them, not all of them, but we have a lot of the good ones. So we have the new number 15 Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder. Up to twice per turn during your main phase 1, detach an Xyz material from this card. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and then if it was an Xyz monster, you will inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Very cool, rank 8. We have Terror Baby, which on normal summon is just a debris dragon. It can summon back a Gimmick Puppet from the grave. Dyson Sphere, rank 9. It can attack your opponent directly if they have a higher attack monster than you. And it can like redirect, I don't know, it's not very good. Starleech Paladinima, this was in a selection box, very solid card. Elemental Hero Grand Neos, really cool. We got Grand Mole as well, so it's a contact fusion. Once per turn, target a monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Really nice. Grand Mole, however, at the start of the damage step, if it battles an opponent's monster, you can bounce both the Grand Mole and that monster. So Grand Neos just bounces it for free and then allows you to attack. Grand Mole costs you the battle phase to bounce something, but you can reuse it, so that's kind of neat. Inzektor Dragonfly, really neat. I just made an Inzektor video, so I'll get to a deck list on that. Summons an Inzektor from the deck when an equip spell leaves it, so a really cool card. Vampire Duke, this card is really nice. So when it's normal summoned, you get to target a dark vampire in the grave and special summon it and face up defense. Or if it's special summoned, you can declare a card type and make your opponent send that card from the deck to the grave. Really, really cool. So on special summon on your opponent's turn with the field spell, you'll be able to interrupt them. Smashing Ground, very interesting. Not a bad card, but yeah, it's okay. I don't know, way too late. Jelly Cannon. This is interesting. When an opponent's monster, or when a monster declares an attack, target a monster on the field, shuffle it into the deck. So like you can attack and then activate Jelly Cannon and shuffle something. Doesn't seem awful. I mean, I don't know, might see some play here or there, but kind of niche because it is a battle trap. But you can trigger it, which is more important. Gimmick Puppet Gigantes Doll. This card is really good for the archetype. Requires 2 level 4 Gimmick Puppets specifically. You detach 2 materials from this card. Target up to 2 monsters your opponent controls. Gain control of them until the end phase. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters except Gimmick Puppets, nor declare an attack except with Xyz monsters. Also, you can tribute this card. All monsters you currently control become level 8 until the end of this turn. So you can detach 2 materials, take 2 of your opponent's monsters, tribute it, make them both level 8, Xyz summon with them. So you can just permanently take 2 of your opponent's monsters by using 2 level 4 Gimmick Puppets. Really cool card. Dreary Doll can, if it's in the grave, banish another Gimmick Puppet to summon itself back from the grave, but it can't be used as an Xyz material except for the summon of a Gimmick Puppet, so basically just Giant Grinder. Then we also have Bisque Doll, which can special summon it from the hand by discarding another Gimmick Puppet. It can also banish itself from the grave to prevent your opponent from targeting Gimmick Puppet monsters you control with card effects this turn, which is really cool. Zombie Stein, really cool, rank 8, 4500 attack, 2 level 8 darks specifically. Must be Xyz summoned. It cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, detach an Xyz material from this card and send 1 card from your hand to the grave. Then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Change Zombie Stein to defense position, and if you do, that face-up card has its effects negated. So 1000 offense, so it is easy to run over, but it is a solid negation effect, which is cool. Dragluon, we've had it. Grand Mole went over. Magical Hound is interesting. It's a machine tuner level 1. If it's in your hand or grave, you can target a face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, return it to the hand, and special summon this. So it's like, it's decent removal, but it's a little situational. I don't know how I feel about it. It's definitely a niche little cool card. Solar Windjammer is basically Cyber Dragon, but your opponent doesn't have to have a monster, you just have to have none. During each of your standby phases, you can increase his level, but it's just a level 5 extender. Maybe there's some things that can use it. Hyper Galaxy, this is a really cool card for Galaxy support. You get to tribute 1 monster with 2000 more attack, except Galaxy has Photon Dragon. Then target 1 monster your opponent controls with 2000 more attack, tribute that. And if you do, special summon a Galaxy has Photon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This card is really good. Really cool interruption because you can use it without Galaxy Eyes on your field, which means it's much better than the Banish card, because if your opponent goes Book of Moon on Galaxy Eyes, the banishing Photon stream is dead. But with this card, you can just set it when you have any Photon monster or any monster with 2,000 more attack on your field, and your opponent summons a monster with 2,000 more attack on their field, and you can just interrupt them really easily. So this card's a lot better, I think, than the other quick play. So that's definitely going to be replacing it. Vampire Awakening, special summons a vampire from your deck, but destroys it during the end phase. Really, really good card. And then we've had Tribal Rivals for a while. It's not very good. Vampire Bram, really solid at rank 5. Sorcerer's not going to be used. Shadow Vampire is not going to be used, I don't think. Red Baron's cool. It's a creature swap. And a rank 6, or a level 6 to make rank 6. We have the Inzektor, Exabeetle, and Exastag. These are really nice for the archetype. Really solid Xyz monsters in general. They're just the Exabeetle's generic, and then Exastag requires 2 level 5 insects. Bombardment Bird, Blaze Phoenix, notoriously used for FTKs in the TCG, but it's not going to be very good here because the damage is halved, and we can't have that many cards on the field. Magma Neos gains 400 attack for each card on the field. If it's shuffled into the extra deck, you return all cards on the field to the hand. I don't know, it's not that great. You can't even summon it off of Neos Fusion, because Neos Fusion can only summon a Neos Fusion monster that only requires specifically 2 materials. Some other Gimmick Puppets, Scissor Arms is a Foolish Barrel on summon. That's a very good one. And then we have the Skyfire stuff, which is kind of cool. We have Trap Reactor, Spell Reactor, Summon Reactor. All garbage. I'm not going to be using any of them, but we do have Skyfire as well. This card's cool. Cannot be normal summon or set, and can only be special summoned with the effect of Summon Reactor SK. We don't care, because we're going to summon it a different way. Once per turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Very decent effect. Once during each of your opponent's turns, you can activate one of the following effects. When your opponent normal summons or special summons a monster, destroy it and inflict 800 damage to your opponent. It'll be halved, so it'll be 400 damage. Or when your opponent sets a card, destroy it and inflict 400 damage to your opponent. Really decent card, honestly. I'm going to be summoning it with Dark Flat Top. Now this requires a Dark Tuner and a non-tuner machine type monster. Once per turn, you can target a reactor or Flying Fortress Skyfire in your graveyard. Special summon that target, ignoring its summoning conditions. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 5 or lower machine type monster from your hand. Really, really cool. So yeah, so we're going to be summoning Flying Fortress Skyfire from our graveyard by using Dark Flat Top, I believe. After reading this again, I'm not sure if this had to have been summoned properly to begin with in order to ignore its summoning conditions. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see. So this might have had to have been summoned properly, and then we can summon it back. But ideally, it doesn't have to. And then we can just summon this from the grave with Dark Flat Top normally. So we'll see. But I have a cool list regardless. So that's the box overview. Let's get into the lists. All right, first up, I have this isn't like a fully fleshed out list. This is just all the Inzektor stuff with some ideas. So the video I put out pretty recently used Signing Deal to summon Goalkeeper with Monster Morph Evolution. You could go into Dreadnought Dunker, or you could summon Ladybug and go into Centipede. But now you can go into Centipede or Dragonfly, which is really cool. However, Hornet, if you want to play more Hornets, you have a higher chance of summoning Hornet, because Monster Morph Evolution summons a random one. So you can go send Ladybug, summon. You have like a 66% chance of hitting Dragonfly or Centipede if you play 3 Hornets. If you cut Hornet to 1, you have like a 6 out of 7 chance to hit these, which is extremely high, and really unlikely that you'll hit Hornet. I think you still want to play the Neos Fusion stuff with it, because this can send the Hornet and give you a decent turn 1, just protect with Brave Neos, because it can't die twice. And I also think Monster Morph De-Evolution into Perfect Ace might be good, just because Perfect Ace being a negation and a decent turn 1 is good, because this deck wants to go second. It just wants to go Dragonfly, equip Hornet, pop with Hornet, summon with Dragonfly, Centipede, equip Hornet, pop with Hornet, search like Gigamantis, or just like make a rank 3 or something like that. So you just want to pop a ton of cards with Hornet on going second or at turn 3. So you just want to be able to survive turn 1. MST is cool because if you have like Gigamantis equipped to a Dragonfly with something engraved, you can go MST, pop Gigamantis, trigger Dragonfly, summon from deck, and trigger Gigamantis to summon back from grave. Parallel Twister will also do that, but it's not quick play. The equip spell can add back from the graveyard and boosts your Inzektor by 800 attack and defense. So these are some options here. You have Insect Imitation as well to tribute Ladybug to go into Dragonfly or Centipede. Ideally Dragonfly, and then re-equip the Ladybug. And then you can make an Exostag because you'll Ladybug increase by 2 levels, and then Ladybug increase by 2 levels again. Get a Search off a Centipede, and then make an Exostag, which is pretty decent. But overall, I don't know. These are just some options to go for the deck. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it yet. So I'm just including everything that I had ideas for. So that's just a very rough blueprint. Moving on. You have Photon Galaxy. It looks very similar. You are playing the second Galaxy-sized Photon now because you just want multiple to summon off of the Hyper Galaxy. Because then you can go into like your Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. You are still using the skill that returns a Photon monster to the deck to add a Galaxy-sized spell or trap. A Galaxy spell or trap from your deck to your hand, so you can add Eternal Galaxy, Galaxy Cyclone, or Hyper Galaxy. Eternal Galaxy is how you're going to be summoning Neo Galaxy as Photon Dragon, which is just a very strong card, a lot of pressure. You have the Book of Moons and MST as well. Galaxy Cyclone is good. If you're going second, you can just search back row removal before you commit to your plays. You have a Mega into Telemi, that's still a decent play, Paladynamo, Galaxion, and Tsukuyomi as well. As Heliopolis, because you can make this with 2 Galaxy-sized Photon pretty easily with Hyper Galaxy. So that's the list. Slightly changed, but I think it's definitely going to be a little bit more resilient now, a little bit more formidable. Now we have a Hieratic Photon list, which is pretty cool. So Hyper Galaxy can tribute any monster with 2,000 more attack. So it can trigger these Hieratics here, all of them, except Essek, because this will be its attack will become 1,000. But you can trigger Tefnuit, you can trigger Sue on your turn and your opponent's turn to summon the Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, go into your rank 6s and stuff. So pretty decent, pretty cool little deck. Probably a little bit worse because it's a little bit more combo oriented and a little bit more fragile. But it's definitely a cool idea for a deck. Moving on to Gimmick Puppets. Now I had some ideas. I don't know if I want this to be 22 cards, but like the Machinas give the deck a turn 1. This is like another deck that just like wants to combo turn 2 because like Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder turn 1 doesn't really do anything, so you just want to like summon a fortress by just getting like a Jury Doll into the grave or something, and then equip it with a gear frame to protect it from destruction. If your opponent targets with the monster effect, you get to look at their hand and rip something, or if they kill it in battle, you get to destroy a card on the field. And you're going to be playing Baggy Sleeves with this, because if your opponent kills a level 7 or higher monster in battle, you get to draw 2 cards on the following turn. So they'll kill the fortress in battle, ideally. Or you can ram it on your turn, pop something to the fortress, triggered Baggy Sleeves. So that's an option. You have Double Summon, which is cool, because you can go normal summon Scissor Arms, double send something from deck to grave, double summon Terror Baby, summon back from the grave. So whatever advantage you lose off a double summon, you'll just get back. Or you can just summon 2 Scissor Arms. It's not once per turn, so you can send 2, make a Gigantus Doll, and then you have like you can send like Jury Doll and Bisque Doll. Bisque Doll can prevent targeting. Something like that. Egghead can discard a puppet head, or not a puppet head, a Gimmick Puppet to activate one of these effects, inflict 400 damage. It'll be halved, or you can make it become level 8, and then just summon back what you discard, like summon Egghead, discard Jury Doll, double summon, summon Terror Baby, summon back Jury Doll, make Giant Grinder, something like that. I don't know. The deck is a little bit one-trick pony, just kind of making rank 8s. I think the Machina Fortress gives it a decent amount of dimension. You can also play Machine Dupe on Jury Doll, or Machine Dupe on, there's another one, Terror Baby works. I think that's it, Terror Baby and Jury Doll. We kind of need Junk Puppet, which is the monster reborn for the deck, but we are getting Quattro, which is the character that uses this deck, so hopefully there will be a good skill for it, but as of right now, this is kind of what I have for the deck. Moving on to Vamps. So Vamps looks a lot different now. You're not playing Grace, you're playing Duke. Now Duke with Takeover or Awakening, you get to summon it on your opponent's turn, and then you'll be able to trigger it with Vampire Kingdom on the field, make your opponent send a card from the deck to the grave on their turn, and pop on your opponent's turn. So this becomes more of an interruption, whereas Grace is an ignition effect that can only pop on your turn. Duke can pop on the opponent's turn. Really nice. It's also a level 5 to go into Crimson Knight Vampire Bram. Scourge can summon back Red Baron from the grave to make a rank 6, Exabeetle or Telemi M7. Really cool. It's also like, if it beats over a monster in battle, you get to special summon them back from the grave to your field. 2 Retainer, 2 Familiar still. You can go Retainers into Crumble Logos. That's an option. Vampire Vamp is still great to suck up some cards. 3 Gozuki, 3 Samurai Skull just to get these Familiars and Retainers into the grave. Then you have Desire, the field spell, the Domain, the Awakening, which will summon from deck, and the Takeover, which will summon from grave. So Takeover is your turn 1 play with Duke in the grave. You place a field spell, you summon the Duke, you pop a card. Very, very solid deck overall. The Book of Moons can be enemy controller or Chalice. Enemy controller is probably very good in this deck as well, just because you can't take with any of your vamps, get them back into the grave, take your opponent's monster, and then just summon back the vamps. Really cool deck overall. And then a funny little deck I came up with: Desert Twister and Neospacians. You have 3 Grand Mole, 3 Air Hummingbird with Convert Contact. This will discard one of the Neospacians to send another one. You'll draw 2. Desert Twister has to banish 2 winds and an earth, so you have to get 2 Air Hummingbirds into the grave. Neos Fusion and a Miracle Contact. Unfortunately, we don't have Air Neos. That is the one downside to this deck. You have Next to summon back stuff from the grave and just like straight up Contact Fuse with Neos and Grand Mole. MSTs, stuff like that. So Book of Moon can be whatever. It's just a fun little deck. It's not going to be fantastic, but it could do a funny little OTK here or there. So that's an idea there. And then last but not least, we have the Skyfire deck. So Dark Flat Top can be made with a Dark Tuner, which is Junk Synchron, and a non-tuner machine type monster, which will be the Ally of Justice Cataster. So you'll summon the Junk Synchron, you'll summon back the Junk Converter. This is with the Shooting Star Road skill, of course. You'll Synchro for Cataster, Converter will bring back the Junk Synchron. You'll Synchro for Dark Flat Top. Now, if you have Quick Draw Synchron with the Skyfire, you can discard Skyfire to summon this, or you can mill it off of tuning, something like that. Yeah, so I mean, there's not like a ton of reliable ways to get it into the graveyard, but like if you can't get it into the grave, you can just make Shooting Star Dragon the normal way, because your skill will play the Formula Synchron from the deck. 3 MSTs, this can be Trunade as well. It's kind of a gimmicky deck, but if you can get the Skyfire out turn 1, it is pretty strong. So that is going to be the final list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what ideas you have, what you're looking forward to in the box, because there are definitely some fun things in here. I'm not sure how competitive the box would be, but I'm still going to go in just for the content. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, enjoy your coffees, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.